We'll move on with the draft decision 38 Com 8B.8. I now invite IUCN to present the nomination of Mount Hamiguitan Range Wildlife Sanctuary in the Philippines. IUCN, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. IUCN's evaluation of this property is on page 11 of the English version of the IUCN Ad Evaluation Report and page 13 of the French version. Next slide, please. The Mount Hamiguitan Range Wildlife Sanctuary was also nominated in 2012 and considered by the committee at its 37th session in Phnom Penh last year. Again, the committee's decision at that time was to refer this nomination back to the state party to allow it to address a number of issues related to the need to resolve outstanding Indigenous peoples' land claims, implement the envisaged expansion of the site and revise its buffer zone, to prepare a plan to manage the anticipated tourism impact, and to develop and implement a monitoring and research program on potential climate change impact. Next slide, please. The Mount Hamiguitan Range forms a north-south running mountain ridge in the southeastern part of eastern Mindanao Biodiversity Corridor. IUCN notes that the resubmitted nomination for the property includes a significantly expanded nominated area of nearly 17,000 hectares, which now encompasses additional values, most particularly areas of significant Philippine eagle nesting habitat to the south of the originally nominated area. The state party has also amended the buffer zone of the property, significantly expanding this area from 780 odd hectares to just under 10,000 hectares. Next slide, please. The property represents a complete, substantially intact and highly diverse mountain ecosystem in a significant bioregion of the Philippines. Its diversity of plants and animals include globally threatened species as well as a large number of endemic species, including those species that exist only in the nominated property. For example, 75% of amphibians and 84% of reptiles are endemic to the property. Next slide, please. The property is also home to a number of threatened species, and the combination of terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems within the revised boundaries of the property provide a refuge for 1,380 species with 341 Philippine endemics that include critically endangered species such as the iconic Philippine eagle and Philippine cockatoo shown in this image here, as well as rare tree and orchid species. Next slide, please. The state party has provided documentary evidence of the formal and legal declaration of the enlarged sanctuary, extending the level of protection that was discussed in IUCN's earlier evaluation. Additional areas to the south have been afforded protection as wildlife sanctuary through a series of protective measures cooperatively implemented at national, provincial and local level. Next slide, please. Concerning the management of visitor and tourism impact in this ecologically fragile site, the state party has reaffirmed that no public visitation will take place until a trail management plan is formulated. A well-prepared visitor and tourism development and management plan has been submitted, which details how potential visitor demand will be carefully managed. Climate change impact was previously identified as a potential threat to the elevation-sensitive vegetation of this property. In this regard, IUCN welcomes the Sanctuary Monitoring and Assessment Program for Climate Change Adaptation, which the state party has submitted and which provides an effective framework for tackling this challenging issue. Next slide, please. The state party has confirmed the resolution of outstanding land claims related to the nominated area. The written commitments of support have been provided together with the Memorandum of Agreement signed between the Davao provincial government and Indigenous representatives, which addresses claims and ensures the long-term protection of the property. And work is ongoing through the National Commission for Indigenous Peoples to manage relationships with affected local communities and Indigenous groups. Next slide, please. So in summary, IUCN considers the property meets the relevant natural criterion, integrity, protection and management requirements, and therefore recommends that the committee inscribes Mount Hamiguitan Range Wildlife Sanctuary under Natural Criterion 10. And IUCN would like to note that this has been an exemplary process wherein the state party has responded in a timely and effective way to the committee's recommendations and has brought forward an improved nomination for consideration at this session of the committee. The draft decision is set out on page 11 of the English and page 12 of the French versions of Working Document 8B. Thank you, Madam Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rapporteur. Have you received any amendments with regards to this draft decision?
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have received no amendments. Thank you very much.
Do committee members have any interventions or objections? If not, I now declare decision 38(8)(b)(8) adopted. Thank you very much. Let me congratulate the Philippines on behalf of the entire committee for the inscription of their property. The Philippines, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Philippines would like to thank the members of the committee for the decision to inscribe Mount Hamiguitan Range Wildlife Sanctuary in the World Heritage List. My delegation would like also to thank the advisory bodies, particularly IUCN, the Secretariat, and various members of the committee for their invaluable support, including helpful technical advice. We are very proud of this nomination because we went through the process from deferral to referral, and this learning process has substantially improved our capability, our capacity. With your permission, Madam Chair, I would like to ask Governor Malanyaon of the province of Davao Or to say a few words. The governor has spearheaded the long process and, more importantly, the consolidation of wide stakeholder support, not only for the nomination, but also the continued conservation and management of Mount Hamiguitan Range Wildlife Sanctuary.
Our deepest gratitude to the World Heritage Committee for the inscription of the Mount Hamiguitan Range Wildlife Sanctuary in the World Heritage List. Our special thanks also goes to the IUCN for their evaluation of the site and their constructive and open engagement with us. The conservation of this property is the Filipino people's gift for the rest of humanity. We take seriously our responsibility to protect the site's high endemic species of flora and fauna, some of which are critically endangered, like the Philippine eagle and the carnivorous pitcher plants. Mount Hamiguitan is likewise home to an expansive, centuries-old tropical pygmy forest. The inscription is a celebration of the global partnership in our shared vision and desire to conserve these natural gifts for future generations. It is also a step forward towards the continuation of monitoring and preserving the fragile ecosystems in the mountain amidst changing climate and typhoon patterns. As governor of the province of Davao Oriental, Philippines, I affirm our resolve as local stakeholders to protect and conserve the site's inscribed outstanding universal value and integrity. Once again, thank you for giving us the opportunity to share this gift with the rest of the world.
Thank you very much.